Alright, welcome everyone to another IDC tournament report. This time we have IDC 47, where I haven't really made many changes to the deck. It was literally just one card, which was this blue Marquis, which I put in instead of the Faliga, and the main reason for that was because of the rise in LiDAR nature control. I realized that they play 4 Soul Swap, 4 Terror Pit, and 1 Holy O usually as their shield trigger, so essentially any trigger I break with this creature, I can use it against them. And it's also just a really good power ratio. It's another threat that they have to waste their, well, I'm gonna say waste, but use their Terror Pits and Soul Swaps on, which leaves less of those for my Gigazals or my Mistrias, which I want to keep alive. Or the other way around, if they answer too many of these, I can hopefully play out Blue Marquis and have it stay alive to wreak havoc enough to get a win. And also another really important reason for Blue Marquis is that it provides water, which the deck really needs. Like, I really wanted for the longest time to find a way to introduce the 14th water, just to improve the odds of having water unlocked by turn 3 for stuff like Energy Stream and Miraculous Snare, which is one of the most important things for this deck. Now, I'm happy with how it performed. I think it even played an important role in one of the games, I don't remember which one, but we will cover the game soon. I did kinda miss the Faliga as well though, because yeah, you have Stream and Sonic Guardian, but against big controls they still not enough for the deck to keep the gas pumping most of the time. Sometimes you run out of gas, so I'll be looking into finding ways to introduce back the Faliga while also keeping the Blue Marquis, and also maybe changing the Typhoon to something like Brand Serum or something, just to have better draw for the deck. It's 45 cards, so 10 draw power cards are probably quite important to have. And Bilex also is a form of pseudo draw later on, I guess. But yeah, I don't have much to say about the deck this time. I wouldn't say it was a step above the other deck, but I at least got to play around with Blue Marquis and I was satisfied enough. So probably combining the previous one with this one in some way, I would create a perfect balance for it. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump straight into the matches. Alright, the first match was up against MrDelacerna, who was piloting a Lightwater Nature mid-range deck, a bit tribal with Petrova, Beast Folks, Initiates, and threat creatures like Blue Marquis. And yeah, I'm at the bottom of your screen, so I get to go second. I have a Emergency Typhoon on turn 2, which allows me to smooth out my curve a bit, so looks like I'm gonna be able to have a Ghost Touch into Gigapulsa into Gigazalt. That's gonna be really good. Discarding Tajimal and Craze Valkyrie. He has the Mistrias, unfortunately. I'm just gonna play Gigapulsa here. And I'm gonna be discarding Soul Sap and Quixotic, and Let's see, he says his game is buggy, but I think we're back. Draws a card, and he plays Magris, drawing more and trading the Bronze Tribe. I discard another Tajimal, and he ends up having an Aqua Surfer, and now he's going in with 3 creatures. And I'm just player a Terror Pit for that Mysterious, and if I don't have a Shield Trigger, he wins the game, which I don't because the only Terror Pit is already gone. So yeah, he's gonna take the first game just like that. And I get a Blue Murkis here to unlock water, although I already drew pretty much all my energy streams in my deck, so that's pretty good, which means I'm just going to be playing more energy streams until I find Mysterious, but he finds it before me, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna keep playing more and more energy streams. I've already played 3 of them. Just gonna play Aquahulcos and Tajimal. And I'm just going to set him back in mana with Hydro Hurricane. So now he's just gonna ramp back. Not gonna play Miraculous Plague. He's gonna have to destroy the Mysterious. And also give him back Charmeleon and Tharius. Probably gonna keep the... Okay, he's keeping the Sarius as Evolution Beta, I suppose. Now I can just replay the Mysterious, and I can play another Miraculous Plague for Mysterious and Sky Sword. And I'm giving him the Sky Sword because I really want him to just put Holy O's into his mana zone with Sky Sword. Or in the shields, because he drew so many cards with Mysterious, I realized that I can't really win anymore normally, so I'm just gonna be disrupting him with Gigazal and forcing him to keep playing RAM cards like Sky Sword and Bronze Tribe to hopefully put the Holios in his deck into the mana zone or shields. So if he eventually builds a board, he won't be able to go for game. He's even fishing for the other Holio with the Emerald. And if he doesn't find it, I'm in a really good position. So playing out Quixotic and Aqua Surfer. I'm just gonna replay the Giga Assault, and I do have an answer for Mysterious in the form of Miraculous Snare. I think I'm winning the deck out race. Yeah, I'm winning the deck out race by quite a few cards actually. So here I discard Craze Valkyrie, which is quite good because otherwise he would be able to push through with his creatures. And I remove the Sky Sword because I don't want him to have baits for Craze Valkyrie. Now he's gonna probably boost Beast Folks and try to go in. So I need to decide if I want to block the Bronze Tribe or not, and I decide to block it. I do get a Giga Balza. Now yeah, I'm just gonna use Miraculous Snare on Quixotic and just probably trade one of the Giga Assaults with Bronze Tribe just to have him on less creatures. And if he doesn't see a Holio, I'm in a pretty good position. He does see an Aqua Surfer, but I'm just gonna replay the Giga Assault. I'm just gonna play out blockers. And just hope he doesn't see a Holy... Oh! because that would be quite bad for me. One Holio is already in the graveyard, and I just hope the last Holio in his deck is in the shields. And this won't be enough to win the game because I can block the Blue Marquis with Giga Slug, and he has 3 creatures for my Laura Gigas and 3 more creatures for shields, so it's... I win by deck out. Okay, it looks like he hasn't counted everything. Okay, so he's still going in. Believes he can somehow win. I'm just gonna block 3 creatures and then I can just block the Marquis with the Giga Slug. Yeah, my plan worked. The last Julio ended up in the shields, so I get to win the second game. Now I'm going into the third game where I'm on the draw again. Don't seem to have the best hand in the world, just blockers. But it just means I'm gonna have to deck him out again, I guess. I even play out the Laura Giga. I think, yeah, I'm gonna end up playing pretty much all of my blockers. I'm not sure why I don't play Paralysis. I think it's because I wanna ensure that I have mana for Mistria, so I don't multi-brick. Yeah, I end up playing Mistrias and now he's playing Soul Swap, and unfortunately I hit into an MrDelacerna, so I'm gonna have to use a Miraculous Snare on it. I'm gonna play Energy Stream, getting more discard cards. And he's playing Aqua Hulkus, drawing more stuff, and even more stuff with another one, so he's building up quite a sizable board here. And I'm just gonna keep playing Energy Stream and snare the Blue Marquis. He has 8 attackers, I think, and I have 4 blockers and 5 shields. Just gotta boost my Guardians. At this point, yeah, just gonna play Miraculous Plague and give him back all the cards which ramp him, because I want him to ramp his other Holio into the shields or his mana zone. Now I think I'm just gonna keep playing, yeah, Belix, Miraculous Plague. And yeah, just gonna be playing out more blockers, and next turn I can play Miraculous Plague for his Bronze and Tribes and have him deck himself out by, yeah, playing more ramp. And I just give him back blockers, Mistrias, Bronze and Tribe. So at this point he has 8 attackers, and I have 6 blockers, and so 11. Yeah, so he cannot go in for shields just yet. One Crazed Valkyrie is in the mana zone. Not sure if where the second one is. I think I boosted Guardians twice with Petrova, so even if he taps them with Crazed Valkyrie, he won't be able to destroy them. Now it's just playing Aqua Surfer to bounce my blockers, and I'm just gonna replay the Paralysis, follow it up with another. Now he's just gonna keep drawing cards just to see his Holio, but he says he can cry, which means he probably doesn't have it. Otherwise he would slam it instantly. So he's probably gonna have to try to fish it out with Emerald. He's gonna swap Emerald out, drawing a card which is not Holio, and now he is going to use the Emerald effect to try to fish for Holio. And that shield was not Holio. And if he has another Emerald, he could go. Okay, he has one swap left, but he won't have enough mana for Holio if it does, so he just plays Grace Valkyrie. And I have 5 blockers left. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I have exactly enough to survive the remaining attackers. So yeah, the Holio was in the 4th shield, and I even had a Terror Pit if he had 1 extra attacker, so yeah, not the best way to win, but a win nonetheless. Sometimes you have to take your opponent out. But yeah, that was the first match, the first Swiss match of IDC 47, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, we're now in the second Swiss match of IDC 47, and we're up against Seiryu, previously known as Nasus, who is piloting Light Dark Nature Control. He's on the play here on the die roll, and I have an emergency typhoon again. Seem to have a lot of multi-sieves, so I unfortunately have to charge the Blue Marquis, although yeah, I kinda had no choice because I needed to unlock light mana for Miraculous Snare. And yeah, I'm gonna use the first snare against Mistrias. Maybe I should have kept the Blue Marquis, to be honest. I do discard a Petrova with Gigabalsa here. Just gonna play Energy Stream and Ghost Touch to remove his Holio. Just gonna play B-Legs/Charger to get rid of another Mistrias. CorpseCharger getting back Petrova. Gonna keep playing Slash and take care of all my Mistrias from the deck already, which is the reason why I probably should have kept that Blue Marquis, because it would be quite unlikely for him to see 2 Mistrias in the starting hand. So I'm just gonna play Petrova boosting Guardians, and but I'm not even winning the deck out race, so I'm not sure what I think I'm just trying to put as many creatures that can attack on the field. So yeah, I'm just gonna snare his Faliga in case I wanna go in at some point. He's boosting the Belix with the Petrova. I do have Kick Assault, but this Hydra won't really bounce. It will bounce 6 cards, but most of the cards in his mana zone are pretty good. The Slash Chargers will help him deck me out quicker, and the blockers will just slow me down. So it's not an ideal position, but I still cast it. I go in, trying to get as many shields as possible. So now it's most likely they are just gonna play Belix for Slash Charger, getting rid of Hydro Hurricane. Nice, playing Soul Swap to get rid of my Giga Salt, so now I don't have any way to get rid of the boosted Bilex, so... And my own Petrovas boost his own Laura Giga, so I cannot just concede there. Have another Emergency Typhoon followed by Energy Stream. Giga Balza is gonna snipe Paliga, and here I make a mistake by playing another Giga Balza. I should have just evolved, because now he can lock me down with Techno Totem and Bronze Tribe. Had I evolved into Gigasalt, he would have been maybe forced to trade the Techno Totem into Gigasalt, which would have allowed the Mystery Assist to survive, so this was probably the biggest misplay I made this tournament. So now I can't even play these Mystrias because of this Techno Totem, and now he has his own Mystrias and he's in a much better position. I pretty much had the best curve and kinda wasted it. But to be fair, if he had another removal, he could have just used that on Gigasalt and just keep the Techno Totem, so it's hard to say. Because he used the Terror Pit on one of the Giga Balzas when he did the move with Techno Totem anyway. So yeah, I do summon a Blue Marquis here, but I'm 8 cards deep in the deck, 7 cards left, so I'm close to decking out. If he finds a way to get rid of it, it's pretty much over for me. And he does find the Soul Swap, unfortunately, so yeah, that's kinda pretty much GG for me. Yeah, it's hard to say if I would have won had I gone with Gigasalt, because I would have sniped one of the removal cards, but then he had another one which he could have used on it, so he wouldn't have had to crush the Techno Totem. So had he had a foresight to do that, he probably wouldn't have mattered, but it is what it is. This was the second Swiss match of IDC 47, up one match and down one match, so I'll see you in the next one. Alright, the third match of IDC 47 was up against ChewBARKa, otherwise known as Ubers on Octagon. He's piloting a Water Fire Nature aggro with Rebirth. He won the die roll, leading things off with a Gonta and an Aqua Hulkus, which is a pretty good curve, to be honest. I'm gonna respond by summoning Gigasalag on turn 3. And I'm trying to decide between Petrova and Mystria's charge, but Mystrias is more important for drawing cards. He has the perfect counter with Unicorn Fish. I do get a Giga Balzaro Shields to take out the Rebirth. But he's in a pretty good position. However, I am going to use Miraculous Snare on Gonta and also summon a Laura Giga, so that would slow him down, unless of course he has something like Searing Wave, although it looks like he charged it just now. Not sure what else he has in hand. Guess I had Pyrofighter Magnus, but honestly, he should have probably kept the Searing Wave. As my deck plays a lot of blockers, so if I were to summon a few, you're probably gonna wanna Searing Wave them. This turn, the safe route would be to go Giga Slug Ghost Touch, but I decided to play a little bit risky and set up the Giga Salt. And he paid off because he only summoned a Torkoon. I know he has a lot of removal in his deck, like Rebirth, Unicorn Fish, Coral, Searing Wave. So I end up just playing Terror Pit on the Torkoon for that reason, to not lose to removal. And he does draw a Speed Attacker, but it's Jagalzor, which cannot go in unless another creature breaks a shield. He didn't have enough mana for it anyway. Gonna take this time to set up 3 blockers and send the Gonta I snared earlier into the grave. Miraculous Plague is going to get rid of the nature mana, and now I'm pretty much free to go for Energy Stream. Maybe I shouldn't have charged the Giga Salt, but I already have one set up, so not too bad. Kinda just wanna pass here until I draw into Mistrias. And just setting up Giga Balsas, and I finally draw into Mistrias. I even charge the Giga Slug because I don't need so many blockers, and I value having more Darkness creatures that I can tap for Giga Salt's effect. He's thinking of going in, but I would just have him die. Have its creature die to my boosted Laura Giga and Giga Slug. And for some reason I just... Okay, so I play more light creatures to bounce more stuff with. He bounce more stuff with Hydro Hurricane, and for some reason he draws stuff with Lucky Ball. Even though I'm gonna discard the cards. Should have probably kept Fire and Nature if he did that, in case he drew Gonta, but regardless, I'm just gonna play Hydro Hurricane, bounce everything from the field and the board, and just take the first game. Now we're on to the second game where he is on the play again. Looks like I'm gonna be having a Laura Giga, followed up by a Giga Slug, or even, I end up summoning Paleolysis so that Laura Giga can trade with Gonta. Yeah, and I think he misplayed here by not charging the Rebirth turn 1, so yeah, he could have had nature mana for Gonta. And I'm just gonna kill the user soul with Paleolysis, set up Giga Slug. He's just going to summon a Quixotic, and I'm gonna have Giga Salt remove the Miraculous Rebirth he's been holding. And all of a sudden, it's not looking good for him. I'm not sure what he's holding in hand. He's thinking for quite a bit. Okay, Soul Swap makes sense. Guess he just wants to get rid of Giga Salt there. gonna play Coral on my Palolysis, which is gonna buy him a bit of time. Problem is, not even his lucky balls are live yet. He draws and passes. I'm not sure what he's holding. Maybe a 6 mana. Yeah, Jagalzor. Not sure why I don't summon anything. Okay, I guess he wasn't holding cards, so I just end up going for Rias, Giga Slug. He's summoning Bombard General of Speeds, which could trade with my Giga Slugs, but I guess he's just waiting for Searing Wave. I'm just gonna draw more cards, hoping to draw into Palolysis or Petrova. Now I could summon Petrova to boost either my Guardians, but I end up going for Hydro Hurricane. And I even go for shields at this point. This turn I even draw into another Hydro Hurricane, so I can just play Giga Balza, bounce everything. Next turn I can go for game. Unless of course he has a Aqua Surfer or something. Yeah, there was a Surfer, but he just gives up at this point. There's no more point to continue. And yeah, that was a little bit of bad luck from him, or even a little bit of misplay, but I end up taking this match 2-0. So I'm up 2 matches and down 1 match, and we're moving on to the 4th match. Right, now we're on to the 4th Swiss round match, where I'm up against Otto. At the top of his screen, who is piloting Light Dark Fire Nature Foremost Control. I think he has a Flash Charger in it as well. Giga Balza is gonna discard a Soul Swap, which I'm happy to see. 1 less removal for Gigasalt and Mistrias, and Gigasalt is gonna discard another Soul Swap, but he held a Terror Pit, so that's 3 answer cards being held. He's gonna get Mecha Dragon's Breath, and thankfully I get Mistrias. Unfortunately, he's gonna be enough. The Mecha Dragon is gonna be able to kill it with 6k. And now he gets his 4-boss engine starting, grabbing Slash Charger and Terror Pit. So just gonna play Energy Stream and snare one of the 4-boss to slow down the engine a bit. Gonna play Slash Charger, likely removing a Mistrias from my deck. Plays Faliga for Dimension Gate, and then gets Pazagazil Dragon. Unfortunately, he has another Terror Pit. He's had so many answers. 2 Soul Swaps, 2 Terror Pit, and Mecha Dragon, which he grabbed with 4-boss. And now I need to have this Mistria survive, so I'm gonna charge a Terror Pit. Play Belix to grab Hydro Hurricane, and I'm thinking here of giving him cards, but I'm not entirely sure, so I'm probably just gonna play out. Yeah, I'm not sure why I did this. I would have maybe just played Giga Balza there, to be honest, because I'm not really setting him on a... I guess if I didn't do this, he would have been able to just play Power Boss and grab Soul Swap and answer the Mistrias. It looks like I played 2 Giga Balza, but he didn't snipe anything too good. Gonna be able to kill them with Bar Shot. I really need to see another Hydro here, but I don't, unfortunately, so just gonna run out Aloysius, Maros and Petrova. Okay, so I declare Chimera because I've already declared Guardian with the other Petrova. But now if he is able to grab Mecha Dragons from grave with Soul Swap and Foul, he'd be able to kill the two Petrovas. Just gonna play Sky Sword here. I'm thinking of maybe going for Miraculous Plague. But I don't really want to give him a lot of the cards in his mana zone. So I'm just gonna run out Giga Slug and play Plague, giving back Burst Shot and Dimension Gate, or Frozen Tribe. I guess I want him to. Yeah. He plays Souls Up now, he can grab Mecha Dragon's Breath from the grave and kill my two Petrovas, unfortunately. Had I had Hydro Hurricane, he would have not been able to do that. Or even Gigazal, to be honest. I would have been able to discard more cards, but yeah, it is what it is. Playing Hydro now to bounce. Only 3 cards, but that won't be enough to finish him. Just gonna play Lost Soul and get rid of my Plague and Aloysius. Hydro Hurricane is gonna bounce 3 cards from his mana zone again. And I'm just gonna, break a shield, which is gonna be a Terror Pit, so now he's gonna be able to stabilize. Just play Slash Charger. And I lost the first game by deck out, unfortunately. Yeah, he had quite a few answers in the form of Terror Pit and Soul Swap in the hand, so even after the discards he still had more answers, so fortunately now I have Mystrias, but unfortunately he did have a Mecha Dragon for this Mystrias. So now I'm just gonna use Blue Marquis's effect, which it's a Terror Pit, which allows me to destroy the Ice Vapor, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna play Soul Swap to put Orbos into the battle zone, which is gonna allow him to grab a Terror Pit and destroy the Gigazalt. Now I'm just gonna snare the Orbos into the shield to prevent the engine from snowballing. So yeah, he has another Soul Swap top deck, and 2 Soul Swaps allowed him to just get rid of both my threats. Now he even plays Ghastly Drain to fill up his hand with cards. At this point I kinda have to just run out Mystrias and hope it somehow doesn't get answered. But our boss is full of answers, so that's unlikely. And yeah, there's the rebirth for Faliga, getting rebirth back. And here's a Prometheus. Just gonna boost chimeras with Petrova. I'm thinking here, I end up blocking that, so he cannot just go in next turn. And unfortunately I don't have enough mana for Felix Hydro Hurricane. So now he's going to go in with the other creatures anyway and take the second game as well. Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate that even after discarding some stuff with Giazald, he still had some answers from his trias left over or top decked. But yeah, it is what it is. So far we're up 2 matches and down 2 matches, so I really need to win the next 5th Swiss round match to have a chance to advance into the top cut. So I'll see you there. Well, alright, we're now up against GraveCorpseCharger in the final Swiss round match of IDC 47. He is piloting, I believe, a light dark fire nature control. No, this time it was a light water dark fire control, yeah. And I cast a Ghost Touch on turn 2, hitting a Miraculous Snare, so yeah, leading things with Ghost Touch and Energy Stream. I think he's playing not really a deck out, more of a Ruby control with Prometheus, Wincon mainly. So yeah, I just end up casting another Energy Stream there. And I think this turn I plan to go for Giga Slug and Ghost Touch just to set up the bait for Gigazalt. And he's just gonna Spiral Gate the Giga Slug here. I'm gonna resummon it alongside a Paleolithis. I think he's looking to Lost Soul me, but I don't know. At this point I have no choice but to summon Mistrias. Which yeah, he does have an answer for. This turn then I just have to pass and hope he doesn't have Lost Soul, so I can immediately go for Gigazalt next turn by summoning Gigaslug and then evolving it into Gigazalt. He does have Darkness, but fortunately for me he doesn't have Lost Soul, so I get to keep my cards. He's probably going to search Lost Soul now with Crystal Memory if I had to guess. Unfortunately I am gonna have to charge this Gigabalza and go for Gigazald, which is gonna snipe the Lost Soul, which he definitely searched last turn with Crystal Memory. I also kept the Miraculous Snare in hand in case he summons Prometheus, and here is an interesting card, Neon Cluster, which has a tap ability which allows him to draw 2 cards every time he taps. I top decks a Terror Pit there. And here's the blue Marquis which I added to the deck, but yeah, I draw a Gigazal, which is kind of a brick in this moment, so I don't have a bait. And I do have a Terror Pit here for the Thrash Crawler, so at least I got some value out of those 2 shields. Oh, and there's the Prometheus Steel Dragon, and unfortunately I break into some shield trigger creatures which he has to play. Yeah, I didn't end up going for discard with Giazal because he can just remove it with Prometheus if I do that. He's playing Bellix for Volcano Charger and then he's going to attack. Here I'm probably just going to send Bolmitius back to his hand. Yeah, I'm just gonna send the Bolmitius back to his hand and then I managed to actually discard it. I have to ask him here if he blocks the attack, and he does block with the Skydiver, which makes sense. I just hope he doesn't get an answer for one of my cards, but he does have the photo side, unfortunately for me. I have to attack again, and I discard a Volcano Charger, which he could have used to clear the Mysteria, so that's pretty good for me. Now the Photosite will be able to kill the Blue Morkis and get an Energy Stream and a Gigabalza. And I discard the annoying Skydiver with Gigazal there. Unfortunately for me, he top decks a Miraculous Nair just in time. That kind of sucks. I'm gonna be boosting Chimeras with Petrova and trying to finish him before he finishes me. He's still thinking if he wants to block. And he gets a Gigabalza, so as long as I keep my Palolysis alive, his Gigabalzas won't be able to trade with mine. There's a Neon Cluster. He has 5 attackers left. And he trades the Bolmitius with a Gigabalza. Now his Gigabalzas cannot trade with mine because I have Paleolysis. And yeah, maybe he could have won had he gone in for lethal. But yeah, it is what it is. He made a misplay there, so now we're going into the second game where he's on the play. Here I just end up using Ghost Dash, getting rid of Volcano Charger, which isn't the best snipe, but the Gigabalza, sniping my own Gigabalza, is a really good snipe. Then I have to summon my Mystrias, but he probably has like a snare or a terror pit for it at this point. His Gigabalza sniping my own was really crucial. Blizzard of Spears clears my Mystrias and my Palolysis. Here I have a Giga Slug and I'm holding onto the snare in case he slams down a Bolmitius. Gonna end up using it on Giga Slug, so I don't have a bait for Gigasalt. And there's the Bolmitius, which I can snare. Right now into the shields. Play slash charger here, probably slashing away Mystrias or something. And he even plays Aqua Surfer. I end up resummoning the Rias and playing a Ghost Touch, which gets rid of Burst Shot. And he keeps spamming the Spiral Gates on the Mystrias. But now he has no cards. However, he top decks a Logic Cube which will allow him to grab the Blizzard of Spear and kill everything, so that was really unfortunate for me. I'm going to boost Chimeras with Petrova because most of my Guardians are gone by this point. Gonna draw with Energy Stream, and if he gets another Blizzard of Spear, he can clear Petrova. He's gonna grab Pesagazil Dragon. So I'm just gonna Torpedo Thrash and place down the Giga Slug to stand in the way of Pesagazil. He's just gonna play Bolmitius, and I'm gonna snipe the Pesagazil Dragon with Giga Balza. It's a good thing all my Chimeras are boosted. There's still a chance a Mistrias is left in the deck, so I don't summon the Laura Giga just in case. He plays another Prometheus, so I really wish I had my Miraculous Plague at this point, but he got discarded unfortunately. Just gonna discard Belixel, no Soul. And there's a Terror Pit for Gigasalt, and now he can even, can think about going in for shields with Prometheus. I have a Mistrias here, and if he has a way to clear Laura Giga, I'm in a bad position. He's not only winning the deck outright this game, but he's also winning on board, pretty much. And there's a Miraculous Snare. And I'm just gonna say GG because I top decked Gigazal with no bait, which makes it a brick when you have no bait. I play a Ghost Touch here, sniping Energy Stream, which is a really good snipe. I draw a Water, but it's multi-sea, so I wasn't able to cast the Energy Stream on turn 4. Probably gonna summon the Petrova first to boost Guardian, so Mistrias doesn't die to Volcano Charger and Burst Shot. Gonna play Crystal Memory there, maybe Searching Blizzard or something like that. It's gonna play Energy Stream there. I'm gonna set a Mistrias with Laura Giga. He has a Terror Pit for Mistrias, unfortunately. And I do have the Palaolysis and Petrova boosting each other, which is really nice against Blizzard, but it does have the snare for it, unfortunately. I do see another Mistrias now, likely holding summons. He has Lost Soul just at the worst time for me because I was holding that second Mistrias. Comes the Bolmitius and I have the snare for it. Now I really need to hope. To draw something good, he has APOC for the Palaolysis. Yeah, here's the Palaolysis again. And not looking good for me. He has an answer for everything I'm playing. There's the Brain Serum and the Gigaballs is gonna snipe something irrelevant in this case, which was the Magma Rex. Last Charger will take out probably another Mystery-Ass from the deck, or even Gigazalt. It's probably better to just take out Mystery-Ass and then snare the Gigaballs or something. Flashing Energy Stream, so that could imply there's no more Mystery-Ass left in the deck. Maybe the other two are in shields. There's the Blizzard taking care of everything, and just in time because I top deck a Gigazalt, so I can't even evolve it. Burst Shot is gonna clear my Camera Bait. He knows to keep the Camera Baits off the field. If he can do that, I cannot bring Gigazalt into the battle zone. And there's the Neon Cluster, and unfortunately I gave him double snare with Blue Murky, so... But at this point, what else am I gonna do with 14 cards left in deck? I kinda have to go in. Yeah, Neon Cluster is just gonna draw cards. Yeah, even as Burst Shot and Gigaballs, and at this point you're just gonna draw cards with Neon Cluster, take shields with Prometheus, and with this kind of engine, he not only puts me on the clock, but he gives himself more options to deal with my responses. Yeah, at this point it's practically GG, I don't have blockers or anything, so it was quite unfortunate that he had an answer for everything I was playing or holding for that matter. That was not the best run, but better luck next time, I guess. So I'll see you in the conclusion section. So yeah, unfortunately we didn't perform too well. This time we went 2-3, losing record, so not the best showing, but yeah, we defeated Rag Aggro quite easily, and we barely won against MrDelacerna's Slidewater Nature midrange by the skin of our teeth, and against Forbo's Lidar Nature Control and GraveCorpse's Contraption. We kind of fell short, and I think it's for good reason, because we look at the deck, there's only 8 true draw power cards, 4 Mystery-Ass, 4 Energy Stream, and that's really not enough. Emergency Typhoon is basically like a crystal memory, a cheap crystal memory for the top 2 cards of the deck, which, I mean, it can help sometimes just to smooth out the curve, but it's like I said in the beginning, something like Brain Serum that just draws 2 cards and generates value is much better overall. And also I also mentioned I missed the Faliga because it also generates a +1 by grabbing back an Energy Stream or Hydro or Stream, Snare or Ghost Touch or whatever. And I'm also wanna find a way to add a graveyard recursion card like Corpse Charger or Morbid, perhaps, which is another pseudo draw card. Granted, you need to have something in the graveyard, but let's be honest, if you're playing Hydro against aggro, your blockers will end up in the graveyard, some of them at least, and if you play against controls, your threats will be removed, so you'll always have something to grab from the graveyard with that. And while I did say in the past that prevention is better than the cure, it still holds true, but it's still important to have something to bounce back from when your opponent just has an answer for everything, even after you disrupt them a bit. If they still manage to answer your threats, you want something to get them back and not be like, oh, I lost my thread, so now I can't even continue because I can't get him back. At that point you just lose. And seeing as we're on 45 cards, I'm also thinking to add another disruption card. Maybe a third ghost touch would be quite nice, just to help out the disruption curve of Giga Balza and Giga Zalt. So we can, if we don't see stream on turn 3 or something, we can just play a ghost touch, follow it up with a Giga Balza and Giga Zalt. That's 3 random discard plus the card they need to use to answer the Giga Zalt. That would be ideal, of course. So yeah, the deck fell short. It didn't quite have the amount of staying power or draw power as it should have, by almost 3 cards. And even it could even use a little bit more, 1 extra disruption card, even though it's already quite disruptive. But yeah, those are my comments. The blue marquees felt quite lackluster because it needs to be supported by Giga Zalt in order to discard the cards that are not shield triggers. And most of the time, even if the opponent just plays spell triggers, most of the time you won't even be breaking once. You're just giving them more options to answer the blue marquees, or even worse, you can give them ways to get back into the game more easily. So in that regard, it's quite worse than Bolmitius, because at least Bolmitius doesn't give them the value from the shields, but blue marquees more often than not gives them cards. So it's like, yeah, not as great as I knew it wasn't great on its own. I needed Giga Zalt support, but a lot of the time you can't hope that you're gonna have Giga Zalt alongside blue marquees, because like we've seen against GraveCorpse, for example, if he clears the Chimera baits, you can't even have it on the field, which is another reason why we want at least 1 Grave recursion card to get them back. So yeah, this guy is probably gonna be gone. This one is gonna be gone for sure, at the very least, and we'll find a way to make the deck have better flow and solid disruption at the same time next time we play it. And without further ado, I'm gonna end it here. It was an unfortunate run, but it was also another learning opportunity. So with that being said, I will see you in the next IDC tournament report. Yeah.